Now we get to move on to the M64. Now the M64, when completed, looks like this. And the way that it works is the egg cup holder is press fitted into the body of the bomb. I'm going to take this one out. I'm going to install it. There we go. Into the egg cup holder, then press fit it in, and voila. There we go. We've got an M64 bomb with a water balloon warhead. Alright, so this one's completed already. It's been used. As you can tell right there by that bit of a gap there, it has blown up. It has been well used. But it's been glued together and returned to service, and here we are. Alright, now it's always helpful to have a completed bomb when you're building new bombs. The reason why is fairly simple. You have parts that have already been fully assembled. Here's a brand new egg cup holder out of the printer. Hasn't been sanded down or refined at all. I'm going to go ahead and try to press fit that in, and I can't because this surface right here, this one, you could tell it's a lot shinier. It's been cleaned up and reduced in diameter to where it'll fit inside of this already prepared bomb body. Now, if you've already got a bomb handy, you can fit an egg cup holder until it just press fits into there, and then you can take this finished piece, when it is finished, and use it to fit your brand new bomb. Alright, now if you're just starting out on the first one, it's going to be a bit of trial and error. You're going to sand the inside to take the flash off of the base. Once you have this fairly smooth, and it doesn't have to be really smooth, you don't want to take out too much material, although if you do, we can fix that. And then you're going to very carefully, using a flat file, go over this portion of the egg cup holder, and you're going to fit it. Trial fit. Doesn't work yet. We're going to file down some more material. Trial fit. Doesn't fit yet. Rinse, repeat. Do it over and over until it does fit. And be careful, because a press fit, a friction fit, is required. You can't have it loose and falling out. It's got to be able to trundle over the ground while the airplane's taxiing, get bounced around, and not fall out of the bomb body. So you want a nice press fit that looks something like that. That's not going to fall out. And it's loose enough that you can grip it and pull it out. Okay, so now we're going to build an M64. Here's all the parts. There's 5 parts. Okay, a fin set, a fin mounting disc, a launch slug, this little piece here, egg cup holder, bomb body. Alright, now the bomb body has a feature here. There's 2 cylindrical lumps, and that is because the launch slug fits right at the end. That's the proper center of gravity to hold on to the bomb. So I wanted to make it easy for people to be able to know where to glue this piece on. Now, since it's part way up the body, it's not something I want to print in place, because one face, the face facing down, just wouldn't look right. So I print these separately and glue them on. That works out perfectly well. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is smooth out the interior of the bomb body. Using my thumb to see if there's any flash on this lip here. Doesn't appear to be. Now I'll do a greater cleanup of this later, but I want to go over right behind these two cylindrical raised lines and take this area down until it is smooth. I'd also like to get the flat edge of this file right up against those two lines and make sure I've got a nice 90-degree angle. Alright, that looks pretty good. I'm going to take this launch lug and clean up. You might be able to see here. It's just a little bit of an arc on this inner surface. That's not flat. Okay, it often doesn't come out completely round either. So I'll take my round file here and go over the surface until I can see it flattening out. There we go. Pretty good. Turn it over. Make sure it gets the same treatment on both sides. Doesn't have to be absolutely flat, but you can see by the color change that it didn't take much to get this into shape. And you want to test fit it. Okay, it fits right there. The end or the edge of the cylinder on this side should match one end of the lug. So right between my thumbnail and my fingernail there. That is the proper placement. So you want to CA glue this on when you're ready. I'm not ready for that yet. Okay, like I said, I'll clean up the rest of this later. That's fairly smooth without having taken off too much material. Alright, so next I'm going to grab the egg cup holder and pay attention to this flat surface. I'll go over each of these three cylindrical flats. Make sure there's nothing sticking up or sticking off of them. Okay, I've done all three here. I'm going to test fit. Okay, we're not good yet. I'm going to go ahead and use this already pre-made bomb, and it does not fit into that one either. So we're going to take down more material. I'm going to get a little tiny bit more aggressive. With the file, one of the nice things about a file is that the teeth can only really take off so much at a time. You're not going to gouge it like you will with sandpaper. Okay, now I'm going to always check this new body first. Okay, I can tell by the way that it's fitting now. I'm very close. Let me check this. Okay. I don't know if you heard that ch-ch-ch-ch-ch sound. It's got too tight of a friction grip. But the nice thing is, all three of these cylindrical flats are now fitting on the inside rather than staying completely stuck on the outside. Time to take off more material. Since it now fits partially, I want to be careful. It's easy to kind of tilt the file and maybe sand a little bit too much off the outer edge there. You want to try to keep it as flat as possible. You can tell by the colors. You can see the brighter colors where this file hasn't cut into material yet, and the duller color is where it has. So, and fairly flat along that surface there. You can probably see that's pretty bright right there. All right, let's check it against the older one. Okay, I'm fighting it. It's not going in yet. And it's definitely not going into that one. All right, so you can see what it is I have to do. I'm going around and around. I just basically do one circuit. Try to make the cuts as clean as I can. Test fit again. Okay, it's still not going in. I'm meeting resistance as it's partially in, which means that I'm probably not cutting these as flat as I could. So I'm going to try to angle that so I cut more of the interior right along inside there. Oops. Okay, let's see how we can do now. Okay, we're going a little bit further in. We're on the right track here. I know this may seem tedious, but you want a good fit. All right, so I'm going to do the rest of this off camera, and we'll come back after I have it fitted. Now, after doing some work on these cylindrical flats, you can see they are fairly smooth and shiny compared to the way that they were. They resembled this section here. Now they're almost looking machined. And here's the already assembled bomb. That fits very nicely. I can twist it off, but I've not yet fitted it to the brand new bomb body. As you can see, got it to fit. It's a bit difficult to take off, so I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit more material out of the inside. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. As long as I can take it off and it's not stuck on. It makes it very difficult if I have to remove a water balloon, to be able to grip this. Okay, that part's done. Now, I'm going to do to this egg cup holder what I did to this finned one. The inside needs to be cleaned up. I'll use my round file, making sure to go downstrokes only, lifting it up to come back up, to make sure I don't mess with that first layer again. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to do the inside of the round holes, or they're oblong looking at it this way. So when you look at it from the inside, they're round. Okay. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. And you can hit the edges of these oblong round holes from a lot of different angles. So I want to make sure that there's nothing here that's going to open up the plastic on the water balloon. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I need to clear this slot. It's got stringiness in it. Need to take that out. round this edge of the slot just a little bit on both sides of it. All right. I want to make sure to open up this slot enough so they can get the water balloon tied off end to fit in there without a problem. Okay, so let's take it out of that egg cup holder, test fit it onto this one, and there we go. So now, there, that's good, and I can grip that and pull it off. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now it's only a couple more steps. I'm going to go ahead and put a drop of CA glue onto the bottom of this launch lug. Alright, there's my drop of glue. And looking for my toothpick. It seems to have gotten away. Ah, there we go. Okay. Get a little bit onto the toothpick here and put it onto the backs of these little cylinders. Spread this out a little bit. All right. And then I want to put the launch lug right up against the back of those two cylindrical lines, just like that. Make sure that's on. Give it a little squirt of accelerator. And one thing I'm going to do here, as that accelerator is drying, is check and make sure that when a launch rod is going through the launch lug, that it is parallel to the surface. Okay, it looks like in the angle error game, it's going to be nose down just a little bit. That's okay, as long as it pulls out, is mostly parallel, that'll work. Okay, there we go. That fits in all the way. And, you know, if you test fit everything when you're done, you know, activate the servo on the bomb release, make sure that the pin goes through the hole correctly. Alright, so now we're going to, let me introduce something else here. I also use these permagrits. Now this is a 60 grit permagrit. It is sandpaper-ish. It's carbide on a steel plate, and I just want to rough up that surface just a little bit. Here is the fin disc. I'm going to go around it. I could also use my flat sandpaper for this, but I like to see the radius when I'm cutting it. If I want to be a perfectionist, I can use the file on it, go around and clean that up. But it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, because you're going to be dropping this from an airplane, and in so dropping, damage will happen. So in short order, it won't look all that pretty. Alright, so Here we go. We're going to take a little bit of CA glue, put it on this rim right here. I'm going to use 2 drops, one on each side, opposite sides of the rim. Spread it out just a little bit coming out from the bottle so I know that there's enough CA glue to go around. So I want it to go all the way around. There we go. Alright, so the printed side is the dirtier side here. You know what? I'm going to clean that up really quick. Using my permanent grit flat. Because there's still a bit of glue from the hot plate. Now, I use a hot plate glue to get the PLA to stick onto the painter's tape. I used to just use the painter's tape alone, but the surface finish is not always uniform, and the hot stick glue works really well. Okay, that is on. Looking good. It's not hanging off of any particular side. I'm going to spritz this with some accelerator. Not too much there. Oh, it leaked onto the top here. Luckily, that stuff evaporates fairly quickly. Okay. Now, I'm going to look at how good is my fit here. Okay, one thing I want you to be aware of. Get the launch lug facing up and don't build it like this with this fin protrusion facing the same direction as the launch lug. That's not what you want to do. You want to make sure you draw a line from fin protrusion straight across and set this up so that there's not material standing up vertically in the back. You want to make sure that this always fits onto your bomb release device. That's the way to ensure it. Make sure the fins are lined up correctly with this box parallel to the lower surface of your aircraft. Alright, so you'll have 2 vertical lines and 2 horizontal lines in the back here. Alright, this is fairly straightforward. Let me rough up this surface a little bit. Actually, I'm going to clean that up just a tad before I glue the fins on. Okay, this makes me happy. Alright, now, this is what a fin set looks like when it comes off the printer, although this one I salvaged from a destroyed bomb. So I didn't need to print this part. I already had one on hand. I cleaned it up, and we're going to reuse it on this bomb. It is essentially the same part. It's just showing a little bit of damage right here where I'm putting the glue down. There we go. So I want to make sure that these 3 surfaces are in good contact, and then the extra glue will fill in the space over here where I'm missing a layer. Alright, there we go. I'm going to line up one point to the edge. Let me get my alignment set. Okay, I'm looking down the back end to okay, it's looking pretty good. I'm going to check the sides here. Okay, I got a little off alignment there. Here we go. I can tell by looking at it that I've got it too far up. So you can take your time to get this set up correctly. All right, and I need more glue to fill that gap. There is a gap. Put a nice generous dollop there. There we go. All right, before I spray any accelerator on there, I want to check one more time. Okay, I have my fins oriented correctly. The launch lug appears in the middle of this flat here visually. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. I want to make sure that everything looks good from all the sides, and then hit that with the accelerator. Let it sit for just a bit. All right, so a few seconds there for the hardening to start. So that's all it'll take. And look what we've got here. We've got an M64 water balloon bomb complete with fake air warhead for the moment, but it's ready to get a water balloon, and it was fairly simple to build. I'm going to clean this up a little bit because well, maybe not. I have a lot to do, but I like to clean up the parts so that they're fairly smooth looking. But on the other hand, take my own advice. I don't really need to do that. This is part's going to be dropped. It's going to get dirty. It might get cracked, etc. Just make sure I can take that out. There we go. Yes. We are ready to drop another water balloon bomb. And I can take one of these older ones here, and now that feels kind of loose to me now, but this one is an old veteran. It doesn't even have the two cylindrical lines right here. This is back in the day when I was using a measuring tape and measuring back. So it's one of the older versions, but it's helped guide the construction of this one. And if you're doing this for the first time, you just build one, get it to fit as this one did, and use it as a template to... I need 3 replacements for existing bomb bodies where I've shattered the egg cups, and these are all brand new out of the printer. I will use one of these guys to fit all of these with a nice press fit, and then press them into service as replacements for bombs I've already flown. Okay, that will do it for the construction of the water balloon bombs.